Call me and say my name 3 times. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice?
I gotta tell you, I'm really happy you just said that.
Wait, what?
I feel real
This
good
works?
about
What,
you know,
wait, what?
Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party.
Hello? Wait, no. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man, Stook the Camel. Back at it with another video. And Wednesday, I was able to check out the new long-awaited sequel for Beetlejuice, that being Beetlejuice. But before we get into actual beginning of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number 1, it's absolutely free, and number 2, will also maybe help with the YouTube algorithm recommended video. More people, maybe they can join that too. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on Beetlejuice down below. But before we get into actual beginning of the review itself, let's give a quick plot synopsis, shall we? So transition and shoes me.
3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon gets turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mysterious portal to the afterlife. When someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, the mischievous demon gleefully returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem.
Alright, and also I'd just like to point out, sorry for the delay on the review. Thursday I had work, and Friday, today, I ended up playing Fortnite with my friends till late, so, yeah. Anyways, sorry about that. So, and going into, and also, Fortnite! Where's our Beetlejuice skin, huh? Maybe you should have released it when this came out, huh? Anyways, that aside, going into this one from the first trailers, it looked solid. It didn't blow me away, but I wasn't expecting anything amazing, because you know how these a little long-awaited legacy sequels go. They most of the time are just nostalgia bait, and that's what they are. And as for this one, let's see where I end up being on the flip of the coin. Alright, so starting off with the good, we have Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. And man, oh man, does this man
Always have great performances for new characters and characters he's reprising their role as we saw in The Flash with him returning as Batman, and this one with him returning as Beetlejuice, which he still fits into the character's shoes very nicely. And you can tell he's having a blast.
We also have Winona Ryder returning as Lydia, which she's still got it in here as well. She hasn't aged at all, and she's still great as her in this movie. And they both fit back into those roles very well, and I think they can fit back into those roles very well for a third movie as well, if they do a third movie. But because come on, you should do it, because it's Beetlejuice. Not again. Go away. Beetlejuice. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'll try not to say that name again. Yeah, definitely should do a third movie with all 3 of those words. Also, another big positive, probably the biggest positive I would have to give it, is a legacy sequel that isn't just a bunch of the repeats of the first film and isn't just for nostalgia. Because don't get me wrong, this movie still has nostalgia in it and it fits very well. But this movie does do some things that the original Beetlejuice didn't do, and it takes it in some new directions, which I actually did enjoy that they didn't do the same thing over and over again, because that would be, come on, it's just another legacy sequel that basically just does the same thing over again, which it luckily does not do that. Another positive is the practical effects, which before going into this movie,
Tim Burton did say most of the movie would be practical, and for the most part it is, and all the practical effects are very well done in here, especially the sandworm sequences, and the gore as well. That is pretty fun.
Which, don't get me wrong, there is still some CGI in here, which they still do a good job upon the CGI in this movie. Is it the best? No, but it's still, they do seriously focus on the practical parts of Beetlejuice instead of just the CGI fest, which I'm glad they did do in respecting the original with that as well. Also, another positive I have in here is the new character of Rory is hilarious, which for me, I thought he was personally the standout of the whole entire movie. He is Lydia's love interest in this movie, and he has probably the most standout, out loud, funny moments throughout this whole entire movie, and he's hilarious. Yeah, he's a lot of fun in here. Also, Catherine O'Hara is still good too as Lydia's stepmom mother in here as well. Does a great job as her and fits right back into that role as what I said with Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice in Winona Ryder as Lydia. The comedy in here, most of the comedy in here, I would say does land. It was a very funny movie and captures the comedy aspect of the first film too, while adding some new modern jokes to it. And then final positive in here is the soundtrack and Halloween vibes, which it did. I think maybe it depends. I don't know. That might be a mixed aspect I'll talk about in a second. But the soundtrack and Halloween vibes, because the soundtrack and Halloween vibes in here were very strong. I'll talk about that right now, and let's move on to the mixed aspect. I kind of wish this came out in Halloween time, but they decided to release it September instead, which, don't get me wrong, it's still close to Halloween, and it will probably still be in theaters around Halloween time, and it just gets that vibe set in for that time of year. So, but the soundtrack in here, phenomenal, so, yeah, and it's not just a bunch of 80s songs that are used all the time, so I'm glad they did do that. As well, anyways, yeah, we are still in the mixed aspects now, and final mixed aspect I have in here is the ending, which, the ending, I don't want to get into too much here, but it's just, it feels, it's funny, but it feels very, like, we already know what was gonna happen anyways, after this movie got released, didn't we? So, anyways, now, unfortunately, we move on to the bad, which the first bad I have is way too many storylines going on at the same time.
I mean, you have a storyline with Beetlejuice where he's getting chased. You have a storyline where someone's getting married. And you also have another storyline with Jenna Ortega, which all of them don't even get resolved at the end.
Which that also brings me to my other negative as well. Too many characters. There are way too many characters in here with those specific plot lines. So, particularly, there's some that fit, of course, Winona Ryder as Lydia and Beetlejuice, of course, because it is his movie after all. And Catherine O'Hara kind of seems like she gets lost in the shuffle.
Where you have some other brand new side characters as well with Danny DeVito, and you also have Willem Dafoe playing this detective in the afterlife as well, and it's just a convoluted mess with the characters and the storylines.
And Rory's important too, so yeah. And then the final bad I have is the writing for Jenna Ortega's character, which, don't get me wrong, I still think she acts really good in here. It's just the writing for the character. I think the idea could have worked if the script was a little bit better and she wasn't such, because she just has the same vibes that most teenagers in movies do nowadays, where they're just the moody teenager that doesn't give their parents any respect whatsoever, and it's just a flaw of mine. I think this one in particular, I feel as if they could have fix that a little bit. Maybe there's a bias, like a 15% bias towards me because it's Jenna Ortega, and also probably there's a more 50% bias for people because it is Jenna Ortega. So, but she does act well in the part. It's just I wish they could have handled that a little bit better and made her not be that angsty teenager. But with that being said, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's ring out the toxic meter. And I will give this a toxic goodness, and I will go with a B. Solid legacy sequel. For Beetlejuice fans, I would definitely recommend seeing it. For others, I'd say if you saw the trailers and went, yeah, that could be fun, and wanted to see it, go ahead, check it out. And as for the other ones that are going, I don't know if I want to see that in theaters. Probably just wait to stream it. But anyways, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the movie down below. And with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all on the next one, everybody. Peace.
It's showtime.
I didn't even say your name.